Normally we do not review cars that are sailing into the sunset, but this is different. This is the Lotus Evora GT. And yes, while this is in its last production year, we thought it would be worth it anyway. Now, other people might be inclined to kind of be greedy and hog it all to themselves, but where would be the fun in not sharing? So today, Mike Danger, who's normally behind the camera, is going to join me in the fun, and we're both going to tell you what we think of this car. Are you ready? All right, let's do this.
Let's start with the nuts and bolts. The Evora has been around since 2009. Normally with a car that was designed well over a decade ago, we might call it long in the tooth. I am definitely not saying that about the Evora. I think it's as relevant, sexy, and interesting today as it was back when Lady Gaga showed up in her meat dress at the VMAs.
And the exterior of the Evora GT is definitely delicious. With a low and wide stance, it's a looker for sure. Although, for a personal preference, I would love to see the Evora GT stretched out in length just a little bit longer. But hey, I understand your objective over there, Lotus. So you would think because this is a sports car, it has that stigma of not fitting big guys like myself, but I beg to differ, because once you climb in and kind of just drop in the seat, it fits just fine. Being tall at 6'4", I got plenty of leg room, plenty of headroom, and I can even scoot the seat back just a little bit. And if I need even more space, telescoping wheel works just fine. Super car for a superstar. But I wonder how Lynn fits.
So I actually am not going to complain that the pedals are super close together. I have really small feet, so for me it's actually quite ideal, and it allows me to help practice my heel-toe technique, which is always great. The one place where I have an issue is with the seat. I cannot quite get it up far enough. I'm like this far away. Now the steering wheel does telescope a little bit, but the only problem is it doesn't actually telescope my leg. So I do have to stretch a lot when I'm depressing the clutch. But you know what? Promise I'm not suffering.
In fact, this was the only car in recent memory that caused me to get out of bed early on 2 weekend mornings in a row to go to early cars and coffee events. That is special.
There's really not a ton of super sophisticated tech in here, except for this Alpine infotainment system that does have Apple CarPlay, but you know what? It's just completely aftermarket. Yeah, you could put it in your Mustang.
And you know what? If you're doing this car right, you won't care because you're too busy being entertained by the driving experience.
Okay, so here's one really not great thing about this. So this is technically a 2+2, which means there's back seats. And here we go. I had my friend's son try and get back here. He's 6 years old, and he's like, there's no room. So sorry, Thomas, for making you do this. And just don't bother getting the 2 seats back here. Just get the 2-seater.
But the best part of the interior is being able to see the supercharger wastegate work its magic in your rearview mirror. It's good that you've got something fun to look at in that mirror, because with the carbon fiber package on it, you really can't see much more thanks to the louvers covering the back window and thick B-pillars slathered in delightful Alcantara suede. Yeah, those look really nice though.
The Evora GT gets powered by a Toyota Camry-sourced 3.5-liter V6 that's got a supercharger pancaked right on top of it. And that raw engine sound and supercharger whine definitely makes you forget this engine came out of Toyota's family sedan.
Now we've got the 6-speed manual transmission, and let me tell you, this is as mechanical as a modern car gets. When you're shifting, you can literally feel metal on metal, which is absolutely awesome. The shift knob is also metal, so your hand probably is going to be a little sore the first couple of times that you drive. Also, I'm going to say the clutch is one of the heaviest that I've driven in a really long time, so prepare yourself.
Driving the Evora GT is the best leg day you can ask for though. So this car has a 0 to 60 speed of 3.8 seconds. And definitely feels like that with a top speed of 188 miles an hour. And after you get done getting calf muscles from working this clutch so much, you can really feel that power, because keep in mind, 416 horsepower isn't that much, but this car kind of weighs next to nothing. So putting that many ponies in this type of car, oh yeah, you're gonna feel that nicely. Oh yeah. And after you light up the drag strip, take this little sucker out to the canyons for a massive amount of fun.
Thanks to the mid-engine placement, the balance on the Evora feels faultless. The way Lotus tunes the chassis, you really feel like you're driving the Razor's Edge, but you can do no wrong.
When you put it in race mode, all of the nannies switch off. So you're kind of putting your future into your own hands, especially when the back end can get a little bit twitchy on this car. So driver, beware.
You get grippy Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires and some of the most perfectly weighted and talkative steering that I've felt in a long time that translates your inputs to the wheels with the precision of a UN interpreter.
In the canyons, this thing is incredible. In third gear, you're cruising really happily between 3,000 and 4,000 RPM, slaloming like a Super G. But you know what? We live in Southern California, and we have to deal with traffic and commuting. So what would this be like as a daily driver?
So would I want to own this and drive it every day? Probably not. I'm a bigger guy, and it feels like I'm always engaged. The lumbar support seems pretty aggressive, and putting my head back just doesn't seem right. So I'm always focused right here. And it's kind of like driving a super sport motorcycle. You're just always on. And when you get off of that motorcycle, you're like, it's such a relief. That's this car. But in the meantime, while you're driving it, it's a riot. Oh, yeah. Why can't my Prius drive like this? I wonder what Lynn thinks.
The Evora, I mean, 100% just gets it right for me. There definitely are other sports cars that have more creature comforts. Specifically, I'm thinking about the 911, the Cayman. Those are fantastic cars. But if you are looking for just a pure 100% sports car, completely analog, man, it's gonna be hard to beat this one. God, this is just, oh, so good. Love this. I don't want to give it back.
Price-wise, you're closer to a 911 here, with the Evora starting at about $97,000. But with the mid-engine placement, the C8 Corvette or Cayman is going to give you a similar driving experience. Both of those will cost you less money, but you can even compare the Evora to a McLaren 570S that's almost double the cash. So whether you're carving up canyons at Angeles Crest, or maybe getting cars and coffee from Hermosa to Malibu, maybe Lotus could kind of shift your car buying decision. Yeah, you see what I did there? No? Maybe? Yeah.
For me, a sports car really has to have that X factor, and in my opinion, the Evora has got it. Now, I live in LA. I see Porsches all the time, and unless it's some hyped up variant like the GT3 RS, they're really not turning heads. That is not your problem with the Lotus. It is unique, it is special, and undoubtedly a classic and a collectible in the I'm talking too much as usual. So, okay, yeah, if you want one, like I said, last year of production, clearly they're going fast, just like this one. You know what? Mike Danger is afraid of butterflies. There you go. You steal my cars, I tell your secrets.